Tonight, Troy celebrates its 125th birthday.
Plus, students find out how they can impact incoming freshmen. Stay tuned. Troy TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for February 24, 2012. I'm Christina Cook.
And I'm Danielle Percival. Thank you for joining us this evening. Many of us would consider ourselves lucky to reach our 125th birthday. Well, today all of the Troy University family celebrated that milestone, but it wasn't for an individual, but the institution that Trojans everywhere call home. Danielle Wallace has the story.
Friday, Troy University celebrated its 125th birthday with a day of festivities for students, faculty, and the public to enjoy.
Well, we have great tradition at Troy, and I think 50 years from now, those who are present today will reflect on this day as a very meaningful experience and one of those occasions that you just carry forward. And I know in the life of the university, this sort of celebration is so critically important because we have much to celebrate.
Since Troy's birth in 1887, it has established excellence at more than 60 campuses and teaching sites around the world, while serving more than 28,000 students. Today marks an historic milestone at Troy University as the Troy celebrates its 125th birthday not only in Alabama but in campuses around the world.
To see all the students come together, and as Dr. Jack Hawkins Jr. said, this is an international university. Therefore, seeing international students, seeing our American students from all over, because we have students from all over the United States, come together, celebrate this event, it's exciting.
Troy's birthday celebration included a balloon drop at noon. There was also entertainment provided by Troy's Sound of the South, and for students at Troy, the celebration was a once-in-a-lifetime event to attend.
It's important for me to be here because, as they say, we are the face of Troy. So for me to be here on this historic day is very important to me because I'll never be able to see another 125th birthday. So this is really important for me to be here as a student at Troy University.
Chancellor Jack Hawkins Jr. says he's proud of Troy's progress and he's sure better days lie ahead. Danielle Wallace, Troy TrojanVision News.
Today's celebration was simulcast via the internet to every Troy University site around the globe, where those sites held celebrations of their own.
Residents of the community who have never eaten at a food bank before were shown what it was like as a way of raising awareness about hunger and money to feed the hungry. Derek James has the story.
The Salvation Army showed the community what some residents in the community see on a daily basis, an empty bowl. The Salvation held their annual Empty Bowl charity event for the community to give them a feel on what it's like to eat at a food bank.
Usually in a soup kitchen, they're served soup and water. We just elaborate a little bit and have different kinds of soup and dessert and tea. But it's all supposed to signify how important it is to feed those that are hungry and to let people know how many people out there that are hungry.
Participants donated $20 a ticket to pick a handcrafted bowl out and eat a variety of soup from vegetarian to the famous camp stew. They were also given a chance to bid for bowls done by local celebrities, and one celebrity's bowl was already worth over $400.
Our bigger celebrities would be Jarrell Jernigan, the First Lady of Alabama, Mrs. Bentley. Coach Blakeney and his wife made a bowl. The Chancellor's wife, Miss Janice Hawkins. So you see, we have a wide variety. And also, I know Jarrell Jernigan's bowl's up to $450 at the moment, so that's a good thing.
The Empty Bowl event is held once a year, and according to Mays, the turnout of donations improve each time, giving them more money to keep the food bank running. According to Carter Sanders, a volunteer for the Salvation Army, says that having this food bank in Pike County is a safety net for many families.
The food bank is important because when you have people who sometimes through no fault of their own can't provide food for their families, it's a safety net. And so that's always something that's comforting to families to know that there is some place that they can go locally.
Derek James, Troy TrojanVision News.
May says that people who were unable to attend the event can still help by bringing donations of non-perishable items to the Salvation Army at 509 South Brundage Street in Troy. Each summer, Troy University introduces the campus to incoming freshmen through an impact orientation session.
And each of those sessions are led by student counselors, and right now the admissions office is looking for this year's batch. Courtney Addison has the details.
Troy University's admissions department is already on the lookout for impact leaders for the new students of fall 2012. Admissions counselor Mallory Lee tells us why she feels people will benefit from becoming an impact leader.
Just an impact and being an impact leader is the most wonderful summer experience, and they will get a whole lot out of it. If they come and become an impact leader, it's going to be rewarding for them and also for the students they serve.
Several interest sessions will be held in the next few weeks for those students considering the summer experience. At each session, students can hear from previous leaders and learn more about what is expected of an impact leader. Former impact leader and current impact student director Alex Watson gives her opinion on how to handle the interview.
If it's in the group interview, take everybody's opinions to heart and just show that you work well with others. That's the main thing.
Impact leaders come from a variety of backgrounds and campus involvement. Students who feel they are in their own shell but want to expand a little more are encouraged to take a step of faith and give it a shot.
They should go for it. They don't need to make any presumptions coming into the process. They need to just go ahead. If their gut's telling them to apply, go ahead and apply. Get their application in, go through the interview, because the impact directors are going to find something about them that stands out if they're meant to be an impact leader. And this summer is going to help bring them out of their shell completely.
Impact may seem like it's all work and no play, but that's not exactly the case. Leaders are given the chance to bond and form new friendships with others through fun activities.
One night after all of the impact sessions were over, we had a slip and slide on Sorority Hill, so it was just a good bonding time for the leaders.
Courtney Addison, Troy, TrojanVision News.
If you are interested in being an impact leader, you can contact Oliver Aaron in the admissions office at 670-3734. There will be another interest session this Monday at 5:30 in the admissions office. Applications are due by noon next Tuesday.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Birmingham, a judge has acquitted the man accused of drowning his newlywed wife during a honeymoon diving trip to Australia. The judge ruled Thursday in Birmingham that prosecutors failed to present enough evidence of crime to send the case to the jurors. Gabe Watson had faced a sentence in life with prison without parole if convicted of murdering his wife in 2003.
In Montgomery, officials have taken steps to keep safe the children of a woman arrested in the death of her 9-year-old stepdaughter who was forced to run for 3 hours. They are creating a provision for a baby that Jessica Mae Harden gave birth to just hours after she was taken into custody, as well as her 3-year-old son.
Also in Birmingham, the wife of a former Army major has been sentenced to 72 months in prison for her participation in bribery, money laundering, and conspiracy charges. A federal judge imposed the sentence yesterday on 39-year-old Eureka Priestley of Harvest.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, it was another thriller for the men's basketball team last night. Stick around for Dustin Carroll's report on the game when he joins us with sports.
But first, protests over the burning of the Quran on U.S. base in Afghanistan. We'll have the latest after the break.
U.S. and Afghan leaders call for calm, but protests in Afghanistan grow more violent. I'm Tara Merchner at the White House with the latest.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
There's a lot more to somebody being successful in society than just their diploma. We're in the business of making well-rounded individuals.
They taught me so much more than skills. At Troy, they truly believe that one person can make a difference.
We want to educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, the body to act. We're not trying to be all things to all people, but what we do very well.
Troy University, in class, online, within reach. Troy.edu.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we go to Christina Cook at the Global News Desk. Christina?
Thank you, Danielle. The escalating violence in Syria is sparking international outrage. Foreign leaders are meeting in Tunisia to demand an end to the killing. Tina Karaj reports from London.
Hundreds of protesters loyal to Syrian President Bashar Assad tried to storm an international conference in Tunisia. Foreign ministers from more than 50 countries are meeting to demand an end to the violence in Syria. U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is among those at the Friends of Syria gathering. She's calling for a ceasefire to allow humanitarian aid into the country and pressing for new sanctions and travel bans. Rebels are locked in a fierce battle with Syrian government forces. They're asking international leaders to send them more weapons to help take down the Assad regime. Activists say Syrian troops executed at least 18 people in a village of central Syria Friday, including at least 5 children. The United Nations humanitarian chief says the situation is deteriorating and the Syrian government is blocking aid.
We have cities that appear to be under siege, and what we are desperate to do is to try to get a proper assessment of what is going on so that we can get urgently needed supplies in.
Thousands have died in the uprising that began nearly a year ago. Secretary of State Clinton says Assad will have even more blood on his hands if he doesn't let aid through. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
Friday prayers in Afghanistan gave way to another day of protests. Thousands marched in anger over the burning of the Muslim holy book at a U.S. airbase. Tara Mergener reports from the White House.
Protesters torched this NATO convoy and coast as demonstrations raged across Afghanistan. It's been the most violent day so far as outrage spreads over the burning of Korans at an American base in Bagram. The Muslim holy books were with trash that was burned. Despite a written apology from President Obama, the protests show no sign of easing. At least 20 have been killed, including 2 U.S. soldiers. The top U.S. commander in Afghanistan made a special trip to the forward operating base where an Afghan soldier turned his gun on American troops. General John Allen offered condolences and urged restraint.
Now is not the time for revenge. Now is not the time for vengeance. Now is the time to look deep inside your souls, remember your mission, remember your discipline.
U.S. officials have promised a full investigation into the Koran burning incident and say they're confident the fallout won't have a lasting impact on the mission there.
It is our view that we will work through these difficult circumstances and remain on track to making progress on our goals there.
The uptick in violence is concerning the U.S. and its NATO allies, who are working to withdraw all troops from Afghanistan by the end of 2014. The White House says it's gratified that Afghan President Hamid Karzai has also called for calm pending the outcome of an investigation, but so far it's done little to quell the unrest. Tara Mergener for CBS News, the White House.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, like Japanese mafia bosses and the sanctions the U.S. Treasury has placed upon them, you can tune in to TrojanVision Global News right after the nightly news. Now, back to you, Danielle.
Thank you, Christina. And now Dustin Carroll joins us for a look at Trojan sports. Well, Dustin, it's finally Friday. We've made it to the weekend, and that sure is an exciting time to be a Trojan fan.
That's right. Both men's and women's basketball teams will be wrapping up the season this weekend, and we'll have baseball and softball, and I'll get into that right now. The Troy basketball team is coming off their second straight overtime game. And this one was more favorable for the Trojans as they took on NBA Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas in the FIU Panthers for the second time this season. After withstanding a slow start that saw FIU jump out to a 20-8 lead early in the South Beach, the Trojans went on an 11-2 run before the half to take a 35-31 lead. The Hattiesburg, Mississippi native Emil Jones led the Trojans with 17 points, while the other Jones, Allen Jones, pitched in with 15 points, which was a major factor in the 75-70 Trojan victory. The Trojans' defense was the bright spot, forcing 19 turnovers. Troy also converted 17 of 24 from the line. The victory improves Troy's record to 9-17 and 4-11 in conference play. Troy will hit the floor again for the season finale when they take on the other Florida team in the Sun Belt, FAU. The tip-off from Boca Raton, Florida is set for 6 p.m. And the season-long terror continues for the Troy women's basketball team after suffering another double-digit loss to FIU. The only bright spot in the 74-52 loss was the play of V. Najee, who scored more points Thursday night than any previous Trojan had all season when she recorded 23 points. D'Angela Swart had the previous high 21 against Alabama State. The biggest disadvantage of the game was the huge gap on the offensive glass where Troy was out-rebounded 47-22. The loss drops Troy to an abysmal 2-24 and 1-14 in Sun Belt play. The Trojans return to the floor Saturday when they take on FAU in a season finale. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m. The Trojans softball team is on the road this weekend for their third tournament of the season, up in Tennessee at the Frost Classic, held by UT Chattanooga. And so far, things are going great for the Trojans. The Trojans picked up a win in their first game of the tournament against Ball State. The Trojans won 9-4 against the Cardinals, and J.C. Affelt picked up the win on the mound for Troy. Michelle Hewitt led the Trojans at the plate with 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Troy was also victorious in the Manatee performance. Troy defeated the Buccaneers 12-9 in their second game of the tourney. Pitcher Michaela Hamilton got the win, and Ashley Rainey led the Trojans in hits with 3 to go along with 3 RBIs. The Trojans will next take on Cleveland State tomorrow at 1:15. And the Trojan baseball team hopes they won't be singing the Mississippi Blues this weekend as they travel to Hattiesburg to take on Southern Miss. The Conference USA foe came to Troy last season and lost 2 of 3 games against the Trojans. Last weekend, Troy opened the season by taking 2 out of 3 against Central Michigan, which consisted of many rain delays and 4 home runs. It took Troy 15 games last season before they were able to equal that total. And as senior pitcher Tyler Ray tells us, who has currently won 13 straight starts, says he knows they will get the Golden Eagles' best effort this weekend.
It's definitely a big weekend coming up. It's one that we had circled on the schedule early on. We got to get better in a little amount of time, and we just got a long ways to go, and we got a little time to do it. So it should be interesting to see how we come out and play. But I'm excited to get on the mound Friday night. And another big atmosphere, and they want to beat us because we took 2 or 3 from last year, and couldn't be more excited to get out there.
Southern Miss lost their last game Wednesday when they were defeated by Louisiana Monroe 2-1. First pitch from Pete Taylor Park is set for 6 p.m. And as they do each week, Danielle Percival and Jonathan Sellers will bring you a complete wrap-up of all things Trojan sports tonight on Trojan Sports Now. And for a preview of this week's show, here's Jonathan Sellers.
On this week's edition of Trojan Sports Now, we'll take a look back at the baseball team's opening weekend as well as the final basketball games in Sartain Hall. Plus, we'll give you a look ahead at all the sports action coming up this weekend, tonight on Trojan Sports Now.
Well, Danielle, Christina, good luck to both the men's and women's basketball teams this weekend, baseball team, softball team. And hopefully everybody will tune in tonight to watch Trojan Sports Now. Watch you and Jonathan. So.
Well, that's right. Of course, we wish them the best of luck. Hopefully everyone can bring home a couple wins, and hopefully the basketball team can finish the season strong. And, of course, to stay updated on everything Trojan Sports, tune in to Trojan Sports Now tonight at 7 and 11.
So,
thank you.
Thank you.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, learn how you can celebrate Troy's 125th birthday by sharing your favorite recipe.
Plus, temperatures earlier in the week seemed almost spring-like, but today was a bit chillier and seemed like the perfect recipe for severe weather. What do we have to look forward to this weekend, Tiffany?
Well, Danielle, our area did experience a tornado warning earlier today, but things are looking better for the weekend. I'll let you know next in weather.
Be out there! Be out there! Be out there! Be out there!
Time was, kids did what came naturally. Spending free time running barefoot through the grass, wading knee-deep in streams, climbing to the tallest branch. But today, American kids are more likely found texting, watching TV, or gazing at a computer screen. They spend more than 7 hours in front of electronic media. Something essential has been lost: childhood's connection to the natural world. That's why National Wildlife Federation created the Be Out There movement. kids move indoors causes a host of problems, from obesity to ADHD. But outdoor play can go a long way to improving kids' health, body, mind, and spirit. It helps them stay fit, enhances creativity and attention spans, and could even make them better students. Do your part. Be a part of Be Out There. There's a reason why they call it the great outdoors. Learn more at beoutthere.org.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now Tiffany Lester joins us for a look at weather.
Well, Tiffany, we were brought in with a really big shock. We had a tornado warning earlier today. What can we expect for the rest of the day and the weekend?
We did experience a tornado warning in our area right whenever we started to go to the 125th birthday celebration for Troy University, so that was a little scary for those people that were out on the roads then. But the weekend should be fairly nice, and I'll get into that in just a little bit. First, let's take a look at our TrojanVision campus snapshot, where we see that the clouds are cloudy out there, but the sun is setting. It's still pretty on Troy's campus. For a look at our current conditions, cloudy skies, 51-degree temperature, 42-degree dew point, 68% humidity, and winds coming at 6 miles per hour. For today's high, we saw 73. For the low, we saw 39. We did see about half an inch of rain. As we take a look at temperatures from around the state, we see that all throughout our area, Alabama, we are seeing those 50-degree temperatures ranging from 51 all the way to the highs in Dothan to 59. So it is about a 10-degree change between those. As we take a look throughout the southeast, as I said, it's just the high 50s, and as you get into Miami, they're seeing those 80-degree temperatures. But as you get into the Carolinas, they're seeing those 60s and 70-degree temperatures as well. Across the United States, just the average February temperatures, 30 degrees across the northern portion of the United States and 60s and 70s all throughout the southern border. As we take a look at the current service map, the reason why it is getting cooler in our area is because this cold front is coming in right over the southeast and bringing in those cooler temperatures. As I said, we will be seeing some heavy rain in our area, just moderate to light to moderate rain in our area, and the area seeing the most of that is parts of Georgia and South Carolina. As we take a look at tomorrow's forecast, that rain should be out of our area and just in the southernmost tip of Florida and parts of Louisiana and Texas. As we look at Sunday's forecast, that rain will be coming back northwest into our area, just a little bit in Alabama, but still just light to moderate rain mainly in the Florida area. As you take a look at Monday, we see that rain hasn't really moved with any of the cold fronts moving in, and on Tuesday that rain will be all across the United States. As we take a look at tonight's forecast, we see early showers, 30% chance of rain, winds coming at 11 miles per hour from the north-northwest with a low of 39, so it will be fairly cold. Tomorrow's forecast, mostly cloudy skies with rain coming later in the day. The high will be 59 for tomorrow. As we take a look at our 4-day forecast, we see that on Saturday and on Sunday it will be mostly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of rain. On Monday, a 30% chance of rain, mostly cloudy skies, and on Tuesday, a 30% chance of rain, possible thunderstorms out there. The highest will be on Tuesday with 72 degrees. So Christina, Danielle, while we did see that tornado watch earlier today, and I'm sure some of us were scared to be in Sartain, like in a very open area, we should be seeing a lot of just calm skies for the next couple of days before the start of next week when it will start raining again. So that's something to look forward to.
Okay, and we'll be sure to look forward to it.
Thank you.